Boom. And we are live with another episode of the Brown Water Banter podcast. My name is Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey Cates.
That's right. We got a great show for you today. We have Jay in the studio, man, hanging out with us. We're going to be talking about the Tripletail Championship. It's a tournament coming up. I'll let you guess what fish it's for. But before we do that, we're going to jump into to our sponsors, man, the people that support our show. And we got some cool stuff to talk about today.
Yeah.
Rolling off the boat show a couple weekends ago. Had a great time out there. A lot of good people we met, a lot of great companies, saw a lot of killer boats that I can't afford, had a damn good time. But first and foremost here, Southern Magnolia Smiles, man. Let me pull it up right here. Boom. Dr. Robbie Williams and his friendly staff. I just went there this week, got the old teeth cleaned, man. If you're looking for a great local dentist, you can't beat Southern Magnolia Smiles. Look them up. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram at Southern Magnolia Smiles, or you can go to their regular website at southernmagnoliasmiles.com or give them a call at 228-215-1202. Let them know you heard about them on the Brown Water Banter podcast and you're looking for a good dentist, and tell Robert we said what's up.
Yep,
right, Jay?
No doubt.
No doubt. And here's what I was mentioning. This is what I want to talk about. Y'all been hearing us talk about Hill Tree Marketing.
That's
Jesse
it.
Hill and his team. Right here, look at him. He's got a whole team built out. If you're looking for any type of website design, these are your people. He does photography, aerial cinematography. He's got a drone, man. He can make you a commercial. He can build you a website. He can do pretty much anything digital that you need marketing-wise for your business, for your company, for whatever. Maybe you make stuff at home. Maybe you got an Etsy account or something and you want to, get more official. Jesse and Hill Tree Marketing can do it for you. And I'm not just making that up. I'm gonna grab my phone here.
No, we Jesse emailed us yesterday and was like, guys, guess what? And I was like, what? He was like, we entered you into the
Maddie Awards. I had
Maddie
to pull it up on
Awards,
the phone. Yeah.
And we won.
Yeah.
We actually won. We won Best in Show and we won.
Nice work.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got it right here. Website category. They won. Okay. So we won gold in the website category and then overall Best in Show for website.
Heck yeah.
And there was a lot of like big local names.
Yeah.
In this competition. Joey and I didn't even know we were in the competition.
Thanks, Jesse.
But Jesse hooked it up and he won. And so we say all that to brag on ourselves a little bit, even though we didn't do anything other than hook up with a great local company. The people that sponsor this show, we know all of them.
Yes.
And we don't just, we get to handpick who we work with. And I'm proud to say that just like Southern Magnolia Smiles, Hill Tree Marketing is crushing it and they're doing great work and we appreciate it. So we're not just, taking the money and not supporting or believing in the cause. We really do. I think Hill Tree's doing a great job. And
but we will take your money too.
That's right. But so jump over to brownwaterbanter.com. Look at what Jesse did. It's an award-winning website now. We can say that.
That's right.
Or go to hilltreemarketing.com and look at the other websites that he's built that aren't as cool as us. So, but they're great.
They're not
websites.
gold. They're not the gold standard.
And moving right along into high-quality work and high-quality sponsorships that we truly believe in. Vincent Brule, you probably heard it before, Saltwater Fabrication. He had a booth set up at the boat show, man. He built what Joey was like. It was a custom T-top that had.
Yeah, it was nice. Had everything trimmed out on it. I mean, just installed speakers. He did all kinds of stuff on it.
Yeah, you can see the bead, the weld here with the dimes right there. I mean, he does T-tops, was like his bread and butter starting out. I'm flashing them on the screen for the live viewers, but
and if you saw him at the boat show, all his merchandise, that rack that it was hanging on, he built that the night before.
That's right.
And it was money.
That's right. And there's his hoodies, there's his shirts. But if you're looking for any work to be done when it comes to custom metal fabrication, he just built a floating dock for French Hermit.
Yep.
Mr. Was it Mike?
Mike Arguelles.
Yeah, Arguelles. Yep. And there's a video. We shared it on our page. Go check it out. It's quality stuff. So give him a call. Like I said, if you can think it up, he can build it. Saltwater Fabrication, 228-229-8855. And we are proud to be working with him as well. So I think we got all of them there, Joey, right? Nailed them?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. So moving right along, like we said, Jay, man, what's up? Thanks for sitting through that little long-winded sponsorship list. But you're in the studio here today, and we're talking about the Tripletail Championship. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah,
dude.
Man, no doubt. So tell us a little bit about your backstory. That's usually how we start this show. So tell us how you got into fishing and what you do with fishing.
So I got into fishing at a young age. I used to go spend a week with my grandfather in Crystal River, Florida, when I was growing up in the summertime. And he was a big fisherman, actually owned seafood importing business down in Tampa, Florida. when my mom was growing up, and then he branched out to Chattanooga and took his brother kept Tampa, and he opened up in Chattanooga. And so he'd always had a love for fishing, and then spending time with him when I was young down there, I got the fishing bug.
It's in your blood.
It is.
Yeah.
My father, he was not as avid of an angler, but he recognized my desire to chase fish. And so he would, get his friends or hire a guide and take me out when he could, when we were growing up to take me go fishing. It just stuck.
Yeah.
It happens that way.
All right, so you wear many hats, and the hat you have on right now is Irish Wake. So you're also a captain, right?
Yes, sir. I've got Irish Wake Fishing, which is an inshore guide service. Started that probably about 6 years ago, and been doing it ever since.
Based out of?
Mobile Bay.
Mobile Bay.
Now, as long as I've lived here on the Gulf Coast, and as many times I've been to Mobile and Orange Beach and all that, I've never fished over there. I've never fished in Mobile Bay. I've never been on the water over there.
We have a really dynamic fishery over there. It's a year-round fishery. A lot of people don't realize that. I mean, sure, there's some transition months that it gets a little tougher in.
Right.
But, I mean, we have a year-round fishery from different things we can chase, during different times of the year, which is really unique, from, a big open water fishery to tidal rivers and stuff like that. So we've got a lot of options over there.
Is it different than over here? I would assume it's probably pretty much same species.
It's similar. I mean, I fished a lot of y'all stuff over here too. It's very similar, but there are different nuances, I would say.
Okay. Yeah. There's more places to go too. Like when it's windy, you can tuck in the back. When it's fun, when it's slick, you can go offshore, run out, especially what do y'all fish Petty Boy? What do y'all fish over there? Dolphin Island?
We have the west end of Dolphin Island. Sometimes we'll go over. I usually keep a Mississippi license, so I can go over. I like fishing Petty Boy and Horn Island and stuff like that too. But we got Dolphin Island, then we got the front beaches of Dolphin Island, and we have the west end of Dolphin Island, then we got the front beaches of Dolphin Island, and then you've also got the Fort Morgan Peninsula on the other side of the bay, on the other side of the mouth of the bay. So that, there's a lot of options there for coastal fishing. And then you've got the open water. We've got natural gas rigs in the bay. We've got other CCI Alabama and the Department of Natural Resources have put out a lot of artificial reefs throughout the bay and the Mississippi Sound and Alabama waters that provide a lot of opportunity. And then there's a lot of marsh opportunity and different barrier islands or little things like that.
Yeah. So basically almost the same as us, just a little bit bigger, for sure. What boat do you fish?
I fish a 24-foot Islamorada Boat Works with a half tower that I had. This is the second one I've had. The first one I did not have the half tower, and I put it on the second one, and it was a great addition, especially for what I love to do.
We know a guy that can build you one.
So that's one hat. Tell us about the other two gigs that you have.
So also I'm a commercial real estate broker with Sterling Properties. They're based out of Covington, Louisiana. And we have an office in Mobile, the Gulf South office out of Mobile, and covers kind of the Mobile, Pensacola, Florida Panhandle markets. So I've been doing commercial real estate for 25 years. Done a lot of different things from retail to investment properties, multifamily, a little bit of office industrial, anything that you can think of, we've worked on over the years. So it's just something that I've
something else you dig into.
Yeah, just something I love to do. I like to work on my own terms, and real estate and fishing kind of go hand in hand and allow me to do that.
Sweet, that's awesome. And then get to the point where I hope my wife's not watching this, but you also dabble in a little wine services, right?
I do. I've got an e-commerce wine business. It's clean crafted wine, and it's kind of like a business in a box. It's set up kind of like a franchise model, and the parent company, Scout and Cellar. And that the premise there is the wine is tested and made sure that it doesn't have any toxic chemicals or pesticides or anything like that in it. And so it allows a lot of people that can't drink wine to all of a sudden drink wine again. So just a neat little side project I got off into and during the off season one year when fishing was slow, real estate was slow. There's a certain time of the year where both of them kind of slow down at the same point in time, and I just cannot sit still. So I needed something to do. And,
like I'm gonna get in a wine game.
Well, somebody introduced it to me. My wife couldn't drink wine anymore, and somebody introduced it to me, and she could drink it. I was like, well, this is awesome. And I said, let me look at the business model. I said, heck, from buying it from you, I'll sell it myself.
Yeah. I've never thought about, like you're talking about wine quality. What goes? You just assume that it's all the same. Good ingredients, that there's no reason to even think twice about it.
Yeah, there nobody else puts labels on their wine or an ingredient list. And that's kind of scary if you think about it. People are being more conscious of what they put in their bodies. And this company is one of the first that's actually committed to doing that. And they're testing to prove it. So
what's your poison wine wise? What you like?
If you'd asked me before I got into this, I would have said I'm a straight Pinot Noir fan and that's it.
Yeah.
But
that's where I started too.
But since I got into it, wanting to try everything and be able to make recommendations and whatnot, I try everything now. I mean, I like a lot of whites now. I used to never drink white.
Yep.
But having white that doesn't have a bunch of added sugar in it really changed my opinion on whites. Having some crisp, nice whites in the summertime.
A little more dry than it is sweet, Yeah.
Exactly.
So you got a defined palate now.
I don't know if you can say anything about me's defined, but I do like a lot of different things.
Yeah. I dig the Cabernets though. That's kind of where I transitioned to now. The Pinot Noir seems a little, I don't want to say watered down, but you like that more flavor.
It's definitely a lighter wine, and I used to hate cabs. I used to hate Merlots, but now that I've had real Merlots and some good cabs, I like that. I like those. So.
Yeah, wine's interesting, man, because you can get deep into it, just like bourbons. You can go way deep into how they make it, which brand, where it comes from. The whole deal. So, but let's talk about Tripletail.
Yeah, let's talk about this tournament, man. So you came up with this mad scientist idea.
Yeah, so
can't sit still, right?
Can't sit still. It was during that off season, and I just came up with the idea for the tournament. Just I don't know. I like to think big when I think, and so I wanted to do it nationwide. And the problem that I think all of us were talking about before we started come with the idea to do this podcast with it was we've seen a real increase in pressure on Tripletail.
Yes.
And it's I mean, when I first started doing this, it was like a cult following. There's a few people that did it and you did not talk about it. Right. And
you mean fish for Tripletail?
Yeah, fish for Tripletail.
Okay, yeah.
It was a small group of people, and I mean, heck, trying to get somebody to give you some information on how to do it was dang near impossible. I remember struggling for a long time just trying to figure it out.
Right.
And as time has progressed and social media has blown up,
I was about to say
the pressure on them has just gone through the roof. I mean, people just want to catch them. They're intrigued by them, and because they're fun. They're fun fish to catch. They taste good, and there's just a lot more pressure on them. So, I'm conservation minded person in general. I don't believe that you should put every fish back that you catch.
Right.
But I do believe you should, keep what you need and release the rest. I like to release the big breeders just because I feel like that's the right thing to do. I want to preserve the fishery for my kids.
Yeah.
And
it's your livelihood.
And I've got a livelihood that's dependent upon it. So, that's where I came up with the idea for the tournament. It was to promote conservation, and that I felt like if we could motivate people through some really cool prizes and some nice cash awards, that we might get a few fish put back in the water, and we could keep the fishery going strong all summer long. So that when a father takes out his two kids on one Saturday he has to go fishing, instead of coming up empty, he might stumble across a few fish to catch and make some memories with his kids.
Yeah. Now I would venture to say that probably half of the fishermen that fisher ladies, whatever you want to call it, have probably never seen a Tripletail, because it's not one of those fish that you can just go anywhere and catch. You almost got to hunt them. You got to hunt them almost like a deer or something like that. You got to go get them.
That's exactly right. I mean, every time somebody calls me and wants to book a Tripletail trip, I have to make sure they understand what Tripletail fishing is, because it's totally different than every other type of fishing. It's, you're fishing for speckled trout, redfish. You're going to an areas and you're fishing. Yeah, you might see some bait or you might see a redfish tailing and know they're there. But you're trying to fish an area to see if the fish are there. Where Tripletail, you're trying to find the fish, then you're trying to fool him into biting, and then you're trying to see if you can catch him before he breaks you off.
And they're super smart. They are super smart.
I'm going to flash a picture from your Facebook page just of a Tripletail here.
Sleepy blackfish.
Yeah, in case anybody that don't know what they look like, it's watching on the live stream here. But go ahead.
And they're delicious.
They're not much to look at, but they are pretty fish when you get them out of the water.
Yeah.
Their color change. It's amazing how they can change colors just in your hands.
Right.
But I'm sorry, what were you saying?
No. Just on like with the tournament and how you got it set up.
Yeah. So I've got it set up a few different ways because I wanted to appeal to a broad base. So we have three main categories. One will be total fish caught, and that's an 18-inch minimum because we don't want people going out and targeting fish that aren't legal to try to run up their numbers,
Right.
because a lot of times when you throw with those smaller fish, you can risk hurting them just because they're really aggressive, and a lot of times they'll swallow the hook, and it's hard to release them, safely.
Right.
And this is open, right? This is open to anybody.
It's open to anybody
waters.
In the United States,
nationwide.
We've got the platform built on Fishing Chaos, which, if y'all don't know what Fishing Chaos
I saw it on your site, but I'm not familiar with it.
So Fishing Chaos is a technology company that, they've been doing a lot of things for a lot of years, but they really have exploded during COVID because of the need for virtual tournaments.
Right.
Okay.
So they've created this platform where you can, run your tournament or run your fishing club or hire guides. Basically anything you want to do fishing wise, they can do it. So we set up the platform on Fishing Chaos, and we've got 3 main categories. One will be the total number of fish caught over the 18-inch minimum size, and then we've got total cumulative inches of fish caught. Say you only caught 2 fish, and one was 22 inches and one was 28 inches. Well, then you're going to have 50 total cumulative inches. So that's how that category goes. But it's an 18-inch minimum too. Then we've got longest fish caught. And then those 3 categories are going to be combined with a point system that's going to crown a grand overall champion.
Okay.
And then aside from those, I wanted to appeal to everybody. So we've got an average Joe category, which I'm kind of proud of because I've got some really good payouts on it as well.
Cool.
And so that's going to be whoever gets the closest to the average length without going over. And depending on how many anglers we have in the tournament, all these categories, and this is all spelled out in the rules. But if we get up to certain numbers of entrants, then we'll have paying up to 5 places in some of these categories. Mm-hmm. With some decent payouts. And then we've got some prizes from some of our sponsors committed. And then we've also got, we've broken into territories, because, some areas catch more numbers, some areas are known for bigger fish.
Right.
So to try to level that playing field, we've also got regional categories, and basically it breaks down to, we've got Texas is one, Louisiana is one, Mississippi is one, Alabama is one, Florida is broken into the Gulf Coast, Southern Florida, and then the East Coast.
Yeah.
And then if we get I don't know how much appeal we're going to have up the Eastern Seaboard, but if we get enough people from Georgia and South Carolina into the mix, then we'll expand territorial regions to those areas as well. So that way we feel like we can spread it across, make something interesting for everybody that fishes for these fish. Another buddy of mine mentioned to me something about kids. So what we've decided to do on the kids, because we were a little late getting a quote unquote like kids division, but when you register, if you want to register your child as an angler, because he said that's all he does, he drives a boat and he lets his son fish.
Sweet.
Right.
And so his son will be able to compete in the open division, but he'll mark a box when he's registering on the Fishing Chaos app and say this ticket's for somebody who's under at the age of 18. And we're going to have a special category if we have enough, kids that enter the tournament, where they'll have their own prize division, so they could theoretically win in the open division and the kids division.
Clean
I
house.
know some kids that can clean house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what's go over the entry fees, rules? How does that, where we go to sign up for it?
Okay. So you can go to tripletailchampionship.com, and you can, the link to, we haven't launched the registration yet, but it's going to be launched, next Wednesday, I believe. We're trying to finish it up, but we got Mardi Gras in Mobile Monday and Tuesday. So hopefully it's going to go live Wednesday. There'll be a link on that website. The button's not there right now because we don't have it live, but the rules are there. So you can read all the rules and the different things. We've got a Facebook page. If you join the Facebook or like the Facebook page, it's Tripletail Championship as well. Mm-hmm. It'll invite you to the group for the page, and that's where we'll make announcements and post things. And then we're also on Instagram at Tripletail Championship. So we'll have some postings there. We've got, I'm sure y'all know Don Gaucher.
Yes.
He builds the Calcutta poles.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Don's been gracious enough to donate a Calcutta pole to the tournament. And what we're going to do with that is, if you register before April 1st, you're going to be entered into a drawing to win that Calcutta pole. And there's going to be some requirements as far as, putting in an entry on social media, so we know that you're in and
Right.
and for it, and then we'll have the drawing for that. We'll do that live, and hopefully somebody's gonna
That's awesome.
get a cool pole to go bust some of these fish with.
Well, you got another local guy on deck with you too. Craig's doing all your artwork, right?
Yep.
Brumfield.
He's the Tripletail guy.
Yeah, he's a Tripletail guy, but he fishes with Don.
That's somebody y'all gonna have to worry about right there. Craig gets after him.
He
Do
does.
you have
too.
the artwork?
I can pull it up real quick.
Yeah.
But
Well, actually, I might have a better one for you. Well, we'll save that for a later reveal. Use the black and white for now because he's not. He might get on to me because he's not done with the color yet. But
Let me. I'm gonna pull it up, Joey. So just keep going.
Yeah, he called me on the way over here today, and we were shooting the bull. We talk every once in a while, and so of course when I came up with the idea, he was one of the first people that I called to talk to. I said, "Look, I want you to design the logo for the shirts this year." And he came up with the jam up design, and
I got one of his Tripletails in my house. It's amazing.
He's done, and I always butcher the word, but the
I do the same thing. Gamma
where they print
I don't know.
it?
Chameleon. I don't know what it's called.
It's awesome.
Gamma Gotcha or whatever.
Yeah.
He did a print for me a long time ago. I caught a really big fish that I could not get revived, and so I said, well, I've always wanted one of these prints, and I've always put the big ones back, so I'm gonna use this one and got a print with it, and it hangs up in my bedroom, my house, and even
they look amazing.
Even my wife loves it. I mean, she says that this looks classy.
Yep. I got the logo right here, so I'm gonna flash it for the people on the.
There it is.
Let me pull this down real quick. Hold on.
Signature Craig Bumfield Tripletail.
He is so talented.
There we go.
If y'all don't know Craig, y'all need to go check out his work.
I've got his artwork in my dad's house and my house. Like we buy stuff all the time when we go down to Peter Anderson Festival. He's always got a booth set up right there. We've been trying to get him on the damn show.
I told him he needs to come talk to you guys.
He always hanging out at the house.
You've talked to him a couple times.
Y'all might have to pick up the studio and carry it down there.
We'll have to go down there. He's always messing with turtles or something. He's Craig. Those artists, man. Those artists.
Those swordfish bills he does.
I like the eye sockets. Those are
cool too. But I just can't believe the detail. I mean, like, it would look like I took a Sharpie and just colored the bill if I did it. I mean, just the scenes that he draws on those swordfish bills are amazing.
And have you ever seen him after like one of the big game tournaments? It's like he's got so much stuff that he's bringing home with. It's ridiculous. He's got more work than he knows what to do with. He's definitely talented.
We've got some other sponsors that have come on board too. We've got Islamorada and Stewart Boat Works. They're our official boat sponsor. Smith Optics has come on board as a sponsor and providing us some prizes. We've got Cajun Rods, who's a sponsor, and they're going to be providing rods to the winners. Got Killer Dock. I don't know if y'all heard of the Killer Dock, but they're a company based out of Mobile, Alabama, and they've got these cleaning stations that they put in from Texas all the way down to Miami.
Is that the aluminum ones?
Yeah, they're made out of like
I see them.
Aircraft grade aluminum.
Right.
And then they've got some with canopies and whatnot. They actually just signed on this morning to be a sponsor, so they're going to donate a table that's going to go to the grand champion.
Sweet. Oh
wow.
And then who else am I leaving out? We got some other ones in the works coming, but we don't have it official yet. So,
how does it work? You're talking about fishing chaos and being able to go from Texas pretty much all the way up the East Coast if you want. How does it work when you catch the fish? Can we explain that to
let's
everybody?
go through that process. So, the first thing is I'll address like the regional categories. So, Fishing Chaos has a technology to where when you submit your photo for the length of the fish, and it's in the rules how you have to take the photo.
Okay.
It will know if that fish is caught in Texas waters, Louisiana waters, Mississippi waters, whatever. And you've got to turn that feature on, so it's not automatically on. And there's links that when you register, you'll be able to watch to see how to turn it on and make sure it's on your phone if you want to participate in the regional categories.
Okay.
But what's cool is if you got somebody that fishes Louisiana, but they also come over and fish in Mississippi, they could enter both regional categories as long as the fish was caught in, the Mississippi
region,
fish was caught in that region because I already did the thing.
No, don't worry about it. It happens. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
But they can realistically compete in multiple regional areas because of the technology. Now you don't have to. You can just compete in the open categories and the average Joe if you want. But so you're going to take a picture, and it's defined in the rules how you have to take the picture. It's a certain way with the fish laying down on a certain side, and it's got to be certain things about the fish and showing and not cut off and that sort of thing.
Right.
And then you will take after you've taken that picture, the angler, you'll start a video and the angler will pick the fish up, show the length of the fish, pick the fish up, and then go over to the side of the boat and release the fish, and have to show a video of the fish being released. And then they'll submit that. Each angler will have a Google Drive to submit their videos to, and those will be confirmed. And so there's it's all spelled out in the rules on how to do these things. And to get a qualified entry,
do you have to release the fish?
You do have to release the fish.
Okay.
What happens if it, like, it happens sometimes, the fish dies? Does that disqualify that fish?
That would disqualify that fish, because we have no way, we want to, like I said, we want to promote putting some of these fish back.
Right.
We have no way to, know if somebody had done something
correct
to the fish to kill it, say, oh, I can't release it. So and to keep it an even playing field, you have to release the fish.
Yeah. It's got to swim off.
Yeah. And so, I mean, there's
there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great way to do it. Yeah.
I think, who was it? The guy who runs Lucky Outfitters, Mr. JL.
Yeah.
He was like, man, y'all need to have a special in our tournament, our sheepshead tournament, for live release. And he brought his up live. He had a redfish, weighed it live, walked down to the dock, let it go. And I was like, yeah,
we've been doing that in Mobile in some tournaments. A lot of the summertime tournaments have started moving to some. It's not required live weigh in, but a lot of people have been, trying to do that. It's a little harder in the summertime to keep them live, but it is possible. I mean, I've kept 6-pound trout alive in the summertime and weighed them and released them. But also the Bog Series over there, which is a artificial only wintertime tournament series, they started several years back. And then the Winter Classic that's fished over there, you actually got bonus points in the Winter Classic if you weighed a fish alive. I think it was 1/4 of a pound you got. So on a 5-fish creel, it's extra 1.5 pounds or 1.25 pounds you got added to your creel by keeping them alive. So we've been trying, all the tournaments over there have been trying to encourage catch and release on these big breeders. And then when they changed the regulation to where there was an upper slot limit, you can only keep one per person. That created some, strategery you had to come up with during your tournament strategy, because you had to go try to get 2 over slot fish.
Yeah.
And then you had to try to find 3 slot fish, which is usually different areas.
Right.
That's one of the more cool things that I feel like we've been exposed to doing the podcast, is the fact that so many anglers are promoting conservation now, and then see it go into the tournaments. It's really cool, because I don't know about over there in Mobile, but I know over here, I don't think anybody would say the fishing is extremely better than it was 20 years ago.
Especially not Tripletail.
Everything took a hit. I got to give kudos to our regulation officers over there, because, usually the government entities are behind, they're changing regulations when the problem's already there or really bad.
Right.
And our guys, I feel like they got ahead of, I feel like we were going to have some really big problems in our speckled trout fishery, and they got ahead of it. And, they brought the creel limits down, they upped the minimum size and put a upper slot limit in. And as somebody's on the water, a lot of days out of the year, I've seen a definite improvement in our fishery because of that, but there is a definite mindset shift in a lot of these anglers. As far as I'm getting a lot of people that want to do conservation trips. We'll do tagging the Sea Lab's got a tagging program in conjunction with CCA, and there's people that want to go out and all they want to do is tag fish. I've got this
on a paid charter.
That's
cool.
He comes in every year from Texas. His grandfather brings him because he wants to be a marine biologist. All he wants to do is tag fish. And the coolest thing that's happened to one of his fish so far is we caught it in July, and it was at Liberty for almost a year, I think 11 total months. And that fish came back to almost, and no, this fish does not live in this area during the wintertime just because we fish down there. There's no life.
Yeah.
And that fish came back to the same place within 200 yards of where he caught the fish 11 months later.
That's cool.
Well, it's cool to be able to track it. USM does the same thing.
Yeah.
They've done it with, especially automobile, they do tarpon. They've been at big Mississippi State's doing tarpon, and then USM does it where you just get tags. And once you fill your tag book up, they'll give you a free shirt.
Yep, I used to tag fish for Reed Hendon. And
it's great. It's great for especially tarpon, because tarpon's another one of those that's on the Tripletail is you don't just go throw a fish over on a reef and catch a tarpon. You know what I'm saying? You got to hunt them, and to be able to watch them and see where they're going and think, you don't think of Mississippi waters, even Alabama waters, hold a lot of tarpon. You know what I'm saying? But there's a few out there.
Yeah.
So.
Mr. Richard Parker in the comments said that he's Bass Tactic is willing to donate to the tournament. So
sweet.
put you in contact with him. Maybe he can throw y'all some stuff to give away or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
He's Bass Tactic, real cool.
High school.
Yeah, high school fishing. Obviously bass, but we've worked with Mr. Richard before and live streamed some of his weigh-ins. So another fishing junkie out there on Facebook.
It's all over the place, man.
Yep.
Like fishing junkies everywhere.
Yeah. But I think that's cool, man. Integrating the technology like that. Joey and I did the sheep's head tournament, and we wanted to pick that fish just so that people that didn't have a boat could still participate and win. If very easy to
Fish
win
from
off
the bridge or anything like
that's
that.
awesome.
Right. But to do what you're doing and have that fishing chaos, and now being able to go the entire, like we said, Texas to the East Coast, that opens up a lot of opportunity for a lot of people to compete and hopefully have a great tournament, man.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
What, it's 6 months?
Yeah, we're going to run from May 1st to October 31st.
Okay.
And is there any halfway point or quarter points? It's just straight through?
It's just straight through. We'll calculate it all up at the end and let the cards fall where they do.
Yeah. I'm guessing the leaderboard is running the entire time on Fish Chaos.
It is running the whole time. We're making some decisions. I've got my panel of experts or advisors, whatever you want to call them.
Right.
And we're trying to decide how much we want to put out at what, because we don't want to discourage participation, like somebody feel like they got behind the 8 ball or whatnot. So we may keep the longest fish active, and then maybe make some of the other categories to where they're released, maybe on a monthly basis or something like that.
Right.
Just to see how it all.
That was my next question. Do you have to be registered at the beginning of the tournament, or can you register throughout?
You can register throughout. You will save $50 if you register before the start of the tournament.
Did we say how much the registration fee was?
Registration fee is $250.
$250, and that's for the 6 months.
That's 6 months of fishing.
Yeah.
And if you do register after the tournament starts, you have to register a full 24 hours in advance before landing a fish to enter into the tournament.
Okay,
gotcha.
so you can't go on a charter.
You can't go catch
morning.
that 33-inch Tripletail. So, I'm gonna go buy me a ticket and take the pictures and release them and get them in the tournament. You've got to be registered 24 hours in advance, and that's to prevent people from stuff like
I
that.
I wasn't going to participate, but
I caught a stud.
Look at this guy. Now I'm in. Yeah.
I mean, you see it every year. I mean, the guy that catches, the 27-pounder on trout tackle because he's riding back in his stouter, and it was just sitting there laying on a crab pot.
Yeah.
Do the payouts change as people enter? The more people enter, does it kind of fluctuate?
They do. So I think, and it's on the rules, but I want to say it's at 100 anglers. I think we're paying out 3 places in almost every category. Then if we get up to 500 anglers, we're paying out maybe 4 places in every category. And then if we get up to 1,000 anglers, which I think is more than doable with the geographical range.
Right. The amount of area you cover.
We're going to pay out 5 places on just about every category. So, I mean, that's 5 for each state territory, 5 for the average Joe, 5 for the longest, 5 for the most, 5 for the cumulative. And then the grand champion, I think is the only one that pays out 1 place.
Yeah, that's a pile of money,
dude. That's
a pile of money, and I'm sure you're gonna have door prizes, or y'all got T-shirts, or
we got shirts that are gonna come with Craig's art stuff on it. Art on it. That's gonna come with your registration, and then if somebody wants to get extras, we hadn't figured out how we're gonna work that out yet, but we're gonna figure that out. We don't know if we're gonna, because of that. This is one part where we've got so many things to figure out ahead of the start.
Right.
We're trying to figure out how we're going to do, whether it's an awards presentation or whatever you want to call it, with people being spread out potentially across a big geographical region.
You could do, like you mentioned, like a Zoom,
a virtual,
almost like what we're doing right now. We could help you set that up if you needed to. That'd be, people can just jump on with their cell phone and be a part of that.
Yeah, we might do that. I'd love to do something in person, because I think it'd be good to get everybody together and talking and whatnot, and then maybe do a live broadcast. Like
you could do a mix of both. Yeah, absolutely. Have it
that
meet
way
up
people
somewhere.
that can't get up here,
correct.
Can
Especially if they win. Especially if they win. They're going to be a part of that.
Well, I don't know. These checks hopefully are going to be big enough to where this is going to make them want to come.
We'll hold the money for them, though, if they don't want to get it.
I'll hold it for a day or two. Yeah. Well, look, where can we send people? You mentioned the website. Is that the best place to go to get info?
That's the best place to get info. They can email me at jay@irishwakefishing.com if they have questions. But yeah, the website, and then Instagram page and the Facebook page are great sources to keep up with, new sponsors that we're going to be announcing. We've got a couple others outstanding that are should be getting back to me in the next week or two. So those are all great avenues, and to keep up with what we're doing.
Yeah. Go smash the like button.
So when you thinking next week, you should be
Wednesday. We're gonna go live. Like I said, Monday, Tuesday, or Mardi Gras, so Mobile kind of shuts down. But Wednesday we'll launch and go live to register. And if you register before April 1st, you're gonna be entered into and we're gonna announce what you have to do on our social pages. To get into that drawing. You're going to be entered into the drawing for the Don Gaucher custom Calcutta pole, which is about a $200 value if I remember right. So it's a really sweet setup.
Like getting your entry fee right out the gate,
no doubt.
Back,
Exactly.
And then what if you caught a stud on it? You should give them a prize if you catch a stud on the Calcutta pole.
Double down, catch it on the one pole. That's pretty cool. Yeah, for sure. What about people want to book a charter with you?
They can go to my website. It's irishwakefishing.com. There's a book now button there. And I run my charter bookings through Fishing Chaos app. So they manage all that. But they can either contact me through the website. My information's on there. If they have some questions, I've got a couple different trip options on the Fishing Chaos app. If you click the book now button, you'll be able to see the different trip options. And then I think they're on my website as well. But they can find me there, email, phone number.
You got a Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Irish Wake Fishing on Facebook and Instagram as well.
How does it work if we want to come over there? What do we need? I'm talking about Mobile wise, Alabama wise.
Oh, like license wise?
Yeah. No. In Alabama, we're different. I don't know how y'all do in Mississippi. Louisiana, I know when I go over there fishing with a guide, I've got to buy a license.
Yes.
In Alabama, our guide license covers the people
same
while
way
they're on our boat.
Does. Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah. Well, dude, we appreciate your time. I love what you're doing, man. That was a good time. Yeah.
Good stuff.
For sure. So everybody, go check it out. Go smash that like button on the Facebook page. Hell, enter the tournament.
Yeah.
Go win the damn thing and then come on and talk to us about it.
That's right.
We'll have to interview the winners.
There we go. We can definitely do that for sure. So thanks everybody for watching on the live stream. Everybody in the audio land, we hope you're enjoying it. We got cool stuff lined up. So y'all keep tuning in and we'll keep doing them.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Yep. See y'all later.